It's something that I'm still learning, but God keeps bringing me back to the fact that everything is a gift. What's up, y'all? It's Rachel Elizabeth, and you're watching Real Talk with Rach, where we talk about real things because it's the real, honest, vulnerable, hard things that get us deeper in relationship with others and deeper in intimacy with God. God claims the whole world is His. Everything and everyone belongs to Him. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who doesn't change like shifting shadows. Y'all, I wanted to start there because it's the foundation of what I want to talk to you about today. And I want to start with the end in mind. I used to believe that if something was given to you, it was a gift. But I either felt like those gifts weren't deserved or they were obligations. Everyone gives gifts on Christmas, right? Outside of that, I believed everything that you have was earned, achieved, worked hard for. And while I do know that hard work will get you places, even good places, and there is benefit in that and a lot of spiritual lessons, what I want to focus on today is the fact that everything and everyone belongs to God first. So everything you have, whether you feel that you earned it or not, is still a gift from God. And I want you to get this because I don't want you to have to learn the hard way, because I learned the hard way. Some of you know my story. I was a successful six-figure earning fitness entrepreneur a couple years out of college when, alone in my apartment one day, I experienced the audible voice of God that shook my apartment. And it was because I was listing off to God all the things that I had done in order to earn the blessing I was expecting to receive from Him that had been cut off. I didn't even have a living, walking, daily relationship with Him. I had an expectation based on an idea of God that wasn't even true. And in love, not only did He correct me, He completely changed the trajectory of my life. So here I am in my room, June 2011. All my income streams had dried up, and I start blaming God, listing them off. Like, I've done the personal development, I've tithed, I've done all the things. But in listing off my achievements and my efforts, the audible voice of God interrupted me, and it was booming and thunderous and terrifying and full of love and compassion all at the same time. And He said, "You didn't do any of that, I did that." And that was a humbling, stark reality. But the truth is that trajectory shift was what I needed for Him to restore a right relationship with Him and heal me from everything I was burying in my work and success that I had never dealt with from my past. And it was in that trajectory shift that He taught me that not only is the kingdom way of work and life more effective and efficient from a place of rest and a place of worship than overworking, but also that everything that I could ever achieve is still a gift. A gift is something that the giver can choose to give at any moment, regardless of your achievement or work or effort or lack thereof. You may know some people in your life that seem just super lucky. Could it be that maybe they've just figured out how to enjoy God from a place of rest, knowing that He is the giver of good gifts and that every good and perfect gift comes from Him and that He doesn't change? So He's always good and He's always giving good gifts. And what right do we have to question God on how He gives His gifts? Because they're His to give or not. For me, changing the mindset started with the realization that everything was a gift and that all the glory for all the gifts and the effort in work goes to Him. Colossians talks about doing everything as if we were doing it for Him. So all the work, all the achievement, everything is our gift back to Him. He gives good gifts because it's simply who He is. And we work as unto Him out of gratitude in relationship with Him. The one who sustains us removes all of the weight of striving and sin and removes all the need to achieve anything on our own, because truly, even the breath in our lungs and the strength in our bodies and the intelligence in our minds is from Him. And you couldn't attain a single goal or work a minute of your life without Him first giving you life. Everything is His. Everything is from Him. That revelation changes everything. And the most recent lesson of this was just a few days ago when I was journaling about all of his promises, because I've been struggling to keep my eyes fixed on him in the middle of so many more unknowns. There's been a breakup. My visa's running out the end of the month. I don't know where my income's coming from besides the little bit that I have coming from my Patreon campaign. I am back in a place of absolutely having to remember how good God is, and that He gives all things, and that He's my provider, and that if He's done it once, He'll do it again, because He loves me, because it's who He is. And yes, we have free will and we can make choices, but I surrendered my will to Him a long time ago in exchange for His leading. I know through personal experience, but also because the Bible tells me that He is everything that I need, and He leads me, and He asks me not to lean on my own understanding, but to trust Him with everything. So I want Him to direct my path. And He's done it so faithfully in the past, just like He did for Abraham and so many others in the Old and the New Testament. I want my life to leave a legacy of wild, radical faith and walking by the Spirit, not gratifying the desires of the flesh that want to know and need to earn. No, He is my true satisfaction. And I'll tell you what, being here in this beautiful room, in this beautiful place where I can see the ocean just over the camera right now, it has been incredible, but it's not mine. It has been incredible, but it's given me just enough comfort to start to doubt the provision and goodness of God, who got me through a year and 5 months without having a home, having over $1,000 of expenses every month. God provides. I haven't had a structured job or a normal life by any means, and He has never failed me. He will never fail you, but if everything in your life is set up so that your security can be entirely credited to you, then where does God have room to prove to you that He is who He says He is? What in your life right now requires faith? The Bible also talks about not planning for tomorrow or the next year, because only God knows what will happen. So we should be saying, if God wills it, we will go to this place or do this thing, because the heart of a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps. Everything is a gift. This place is a gift. And even if God gives me all the desires of my heart, which next to Him are a house where I can actually create a home and have a family, these are some of the things that my heart desires. But even if God gives me those things, those are His too. And it's my job, it's our job to give thanks for everything and hold everything with an open hand and be generous, because we have received freely without cost. So we should, regardless of the cost, freely give. And lastly, I just want to wrap up by reading part of Psalm 145, starting in verse 8. You're kind and tender-hearted to those who don't deserve it, and very patient with people who fail you. Your love is like a flooding river, overflowing its banks with kindness. God, everyone sees your goodness, for your tender love is blended into everything you do. Everything you have made will praise you, fulfilling its purpose. And all your godly lovers will be found bowing before you. They will tell the world of the lavish splendor of your kingdom and preach about your limitless power. They will demonstrate for all to see your miracles of might and reveal the glorious majesty of your kingdom. You are the Lord who reigns over your never-ending kingdom through all the ages of time and eternity. You are faithful to fulfill every promise you've made. You manifest yourself as kindness in all you do. Weak and feeble ones you will sustain. Those bent over with burdens of shame you will lift up. You have captured our attention, and the eyes of all look to you. You give what they hunger for at just the right time. When you open your generous hand, it's full of blessings, satisfying the longings of every living thing. You are fair and righteous in everything you do, and your love is wrapped into all your works. You draw near to those who call out to you, listening closely, especially when their hearts are true. Every one of your godly lovers receives even more than what they ask for you hear what their hearts really long for, and you bring them your saving strength. I just pray that this revelation will be yours too, and that you will hold everything loosely and give God margin to move, so that you too will have an incredible, supernatural, personal history with the God who made the stars, so that that history will give you a firm foundation to stand on when you face the chaos of life. You will know that God is God and you are not. And that also is a huge gift. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with a friend if you want to support this ministry in any way. There are links in my Instagram bio and in the description box below. I love you guys. I am praying for you. I'll see you next time.